Do you want to be my son's father?
She asked. The words hit harder than the cold wind off Highway 27. Marcus Rivers didn't
looks
flinch,
like the radiator hose
but
burst.
the wrench in his hand slipped slightly.
Oh no, what are we gonna do?
He looked up, dark brown eyes locking with hers through engine steam. The young black mechanic in a grease-streaked hoodie, and the blonde woman in a rain-drenched dress that clung to every curve. Jessica shifted, aware of how soaked her dress had become. Simple, sleek, navy blue, maybe too fitted for a road trip. When the radiator burst and drizzle turned steady, it molded to her hips, waist, back. Under Marcus's quiet stare, heat rose to her cheeks. I didn't mean, she stammered. I was joking. Sort of. Marcus turned back to the radiator. Overheated. You'll need to let her rest. Might have pushed it too far. Jessica watched how he worked. Precise, patient, fingers moving like someone who knew engines as well as breathing. Strength in his silence, dignity that unsettled her more than shouting would have. In the back seat, Owen peeked from behind foggy glass. Is he like a superhero? No, baby. He's just a mechanic. But he showed up like one, Owen replied, dead serious. Marcus poured water into the reservoir, steam hissing. He closed the hood with a solid click, brushed his hands clean. You're good to go. Keep the heater running, it'll pull heat off the engine. Jessica opened her purse. At least let me... No, Marcus said steadily. Not why I stopped. He walked to his old Ford pickup without another word. Before pulling away, he glanced at them one last time, not with annoyance or pity, just quiet understanding, like a man who'd seen too much to expect thanks. Jessica stood there, keys in hand, heart thumping. She couldn't forget how Marcus had deliberately not looked at her body, choosing respect when others might not have. That disarmed her. As she drove away, Owen whispered, "You see," would have gotten his number. That evening, after putting Owen to bed in their small rental house near Cedar Grove, Jessica sat at the kitchen table with a notepad. She wrote, "The mechanic, black truck, Highway 27, fixed everything, took nothing." Owen's voice drifted through the wall. "Night, Dad." Jessica froze. She walked to his room. "Sweetheart, did you say something?" "Nothing. I was just talking in a dream." Across town, Marcus sat on his front porch. His mother, Claudine, dozed inside, television buzzing with static. He sipped coffee from a dented thermos. Her words echoed, "Do you want to be my son's father?" "These people say the damnedest things," he muttered. But he didn't laugh again. Those words, half joke, half dare, had reached some part of him that remembered being 9 years old, waiting for a father who never showed. 3 days later, Jessica found herself parked outside an auto shop that didn't technically exist. No sign, no logo, just a plain white garage at town's edge. But this was the address on a church bulletin. Fixing forward, Thursday and Saturday service days, 7:30 a.m. It was Saturday. She hadn't told Owen where they were going. She knocked. A teenager answered, white kid with freckles. "You lost?" "I'm looking for Marcus Rivers. He fixed my car Tuesday. I'd like to volunteer." A voice came from inside. "Let them in, Micah." Jessica's heart jumped. Inside was organized chaos. Folding tables stacked with toolkits, extension cords snaking across floor, half-eaten donuts next to coffee, 5 men working on a dented minivan like open-heart surgery. Marcus was by the far wall, bent over a clipboard. He turned, saw her, froze for 2 seconds. "Hi," she said softly. "What are you doing here?" She motioned to Owen. "He wanted to see you again, and I wanted to see this." Marcus gave a short nod. "You brought gloves?" Jessica lifted brand new glove, as bought the night before. "You'll be helping Micah sort alternators. We've got 5 stops today and run tight." "You let people tag along?" not usually. But you showed up anyway. He looked resigned. Don't trip over cords, don't get in the way, don't talk too much. 3 rules. Micah handed her a plastic tub of starter motors. Separate the ones with cracked housings. Anything that rattles, toss in junk pile. Owen hovered near Marcus, sketch pad in hand. Can I draw you while you work? Why? You look cool when you fix stuff. Like Batman, but quieter. Marcus didn't respond, but didn't say no either. The first stop was an elderly woman in a mobile home. Her car wouldn't start. Marcus and Wilson diagnosed a dead battery, swapped in a replacement. Jessica watched. Every action deliberate, no shortcuts, no showboating. Miss Lillian offered Marcus $5. He refused. You bought the battery with your own money? Jessica asked as they drove. Marcus nodded. It's not about money. You know, you're allowed to ask for help. Help comes with strings. We don't do strings. The next stops blurred into rhythm. Crouch, lift, clean, tighten, test. Jessica found herself holding flashlights, handing tools, cranking tire jacks. Owen kept pace like a shadow, drawing faces, asking questions. At the last house, Angela's place, mother of 3 with a rusted minivan, something shifted. Jessica saw Marcus laughing. Not full laugh, just a breath through nose, crack of a smile. Angela's youngest had climbed into the truck bed, pretending to be a mechanic, asking Marcus to fix her doll's leg with a screwdriver. And he did, carefully, gently. Jessica felt something stir. Not romance, not yet. Just gravity. A pull toward a man who didn't need anyone to know he was good to be good. As sun dipped low, Marcus handed her a rag. You did okay. Only okay? You didn't trip over cords. That's a win. Owen tugged his arm. Next time, can I help change a tire? Marcus looked at him. Next time? Owen grinned. There's going to be a next time, right? Marcus looked at Jessica. Unreadable. She waited. Yeah, kid. I think there might be. Monday came with soft drizzle. Jessica stirred oatmeal while Owen scribbled in his sketchbook. Marcus under a truck hood, one hand holding wrench, other resting on Owen's shoulder. Crude, childlike, but telling. You gave him a cape? Owen nodded. He's the only superhero who carries tools instead of weapons. The statement hit her chest. Normal life kept moving, but something inside hadn't returned to normal since Saturday. That afternoon, Jessica sat at her laptop. Screen blank, cursor blinking. She didn't mean to write a story, but fingers moved anyway. He fixed more than the engine. He fixed the silence between us. She erased it, typed again. Some people show up with capes, others show up with sockets and steady hands. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Jessica Palmer. This is Pastor Hill from Greater Mount Hope. One of my parishioners said you were looking into fixing Forward. We've had concerns. They're not formal nonprofit. No tax records, oversight. Jessica bristled. So what? People want to know where support goes. Who's liable if something goes wrong? Sometimes people just do good things without needing a paper trail, Pastor. She ended the call. That evening, she picked Owen up from her mother's. Her mother met her at the door with usual scowl. I heard you've been spending weekends with a mechanic. Are you trying to end up in the news? He's not just a mechanic, Mom. He's not Owen's father either. Jessica looked away. But maybe he's the kind of man a kid should have in his life. Her mother's gaze softened barely. Don't get hopes up too fast. Hope has sharp edges when it shatters. Later, Jessica found Owen asleep, sketchpad on chest. She flipped through pages. One caught her breath. Rough drawing of their old family photo. Her, Owen, and a man-shaped blank space with someone written inside. Across town, Marcus sat beside his mother's bed, spooning broth into her mouth. Claudine's hands trembled. "You got that woman on your mind?" She brought her son to the shop, helped sort parts. Claudine smiled weakly. "You let her stay?" "She showed up, didn't talk much, worked hard." "Sounds like someone you used to be." Claudine reached up, brushed his chin. "There's right and there's good. They don't always look the same, but I've never seen you this unsure over something that wasn't worth it." The next Saturday, Jessica and Owen returned just after sunrise. No hesitation. Micah waved them in like they'd always belonged. Marcus handed Owen small gloves. "For you." Owen beamed. "Do I get to change a tire today?" "We'll see." They drove out in caravan. Jessica sat passenger seat of Marcus's truck. "These all in town?" "Some others out past Ashbridge." "You drive this route every weekend?" "Most of it." "Why?" "Because some people don't have anyone else to show up." She stared at him. "And who shows up for you?" His jaw tightened. He didn't answer. First house was double-wide trailer at Muddy Lot's edge. Man in his 40s limped out leaning on cane. Donnie. Dead alternator, cracked belt. Jessica handed tools, held flashlights, passed water. She wasn't visitor anymore. She was part of rhythm. Later, while others worked, Jessica leaned against fence watching Owen show Micah how to shade faces. Marcus joined her. He's got an eye for detail. He sees things most adults miss. He watches you. She turned, surprised. "What do you mean?" "When you're quiet, he gets quieter. When you're scared, he notices. You don't say things out loud, but he hears them anyway." Jessica swallowed. His father wasn't like that. Marcus didn't ask for more. They stood in silence. "You ever get tired of carrying other people's weight?" "Only when I start pretending I don't want to." Me hit his eyes. The moment stretched. Owen ran up, breathless. "We fixed it! Donnie's car works!" Marcus smiled. Real, for first time since she'd met him. In that smile, Jessica saw something rare. Not salvation, not promises, just presence. A man who showed up. That night, Jessica opened her laptop again. This time, she didn't stop typing. The story was never meant to be shared. She wrote it like some people pray, quietly, secretly. She titled it, "The Man Who Fixed Things." The following Tuesday, while Owen was at school and rain pattered against windows, she found herself reading it aloud. Her voice trembled only once, the part where Marcus handed Owen gloves. By Thursday, her fingers itched again. The story wouldn't rest. That night, scrolling through a local parenting magazine website, she saw a submission link. Stories of unexpected kindness. Without letting herself think, she attached the file, added brief note, clicked submit. Saturday arrived wrapped in cold sunlight. Jessica and Owen waited outside when Marcus pulled in. His truck rattled slightly, tailpipe puffing mist. "You're early," he said. "Figured we'd beat traffic." Owen ran to truck bed. "Can I ride in the toolbox part?" "No. You break your arm, your mom blames me, and I don't fix bones." They drove in silence, gospel humming from radio. Jessica stared out window at tall Georgia pines. "You okay?" Marcus asked. She hesitated. "I wrote something about this. About you. The work." Marcus's eyes didn't leave road. "Did you post it?" "I submitted it to small local outlet, nothing national." Silence. "I didn't use your name." He took sip of coffee. "Okay. People are going to say what they want anyway. Might as well let one of them get it right." They pulled up to small ranch house where older couple waited on porch. Mr. Diaz had cane. Mrs. Diaz wore cardigan with embroidered flowers, greeted them like family. Ic's battery was dead. Marcus replaced it in under 20 minutes. When finished, Mrs. Diaz offered $5 bill. Marcus looked at it, then at her hands, arthritic, thin, but holding out with quiet dignity. This time, he took it. "Buy something for your grandkids," he said gently, handing it back. Mrs. Diaz blinked, then hugged him without warning. "You're not what this world expects. Thank you." Back at garage, as others filed out and sunset behind rooftops, Jessica lingered. Marcus wiped hands on rag leaning against truck bed. "So what else is in that story?" "Everything." He glanced at her. "Even the part where you asked me that wild question on the highway?" Her cheeks warmed. "Especially that part." He smiled. "You scared me. You scared me first." They stood in silence, kind that didn't need filling. "I meant it, you know," she said quietly. Marcus looked at her, brows furrowed. Not as proposal or fairy tale ending, just as possibility, a real one. He didn't respond, but his hands shifted on truck edge, close enough that her fingers could find his. They didn't hold hands, just let them rest there, side by side, warm and still. That night, Jessica received email. "Congratulations. Your story, The Man Who Fixed Things, will be featured in our Thanksgiving issue. We'd like follow-up interview if possible." She stared at screen. First instinct was to close laptop, but she thought of Owen and Marcus and people who waited on broken porches with no one else coming. She didn't write back, not yet, but didn't delete message either. Across town, Marcus was locking garage when Claudine called. "You working late again?" "Was long route. Diaz family needed help." "You sound tired." "I'm all right." "That woman? She's still coming around?" "She is." "Good." Marcus didn't ask what she meant. He already knew. He hung up, sat on tailgate, looked up at stars. They were faint, veiled by town lights, but still there. A boy had drawn him wit. H. Cape. A woman had written about him like he mattered. For first time in years, Marcus didn't feel like he was holding up world alone. By Wednesday, article had gone live. Jessica hadn't expected much. Modest post on regional parenting blog. But within 24 hours, story had quietly ignite.